Hey guys, it's Gameface here and welcome back to episode 1 of my new Leeds United career mode series. I'm really excited for this series. Obviously, you guys have been wanting it for ages and ages. It was the first thing that you really wanted when I started uploading FIFA 17 things. It was the first thing I saw in the comments was, when's the Leeds career mode coming back? It's back. I thought I'd bring it back for you guys. I've decided to start Leeds career mode now that we've got through some of the other career modes that I was after to do first, which was voted for by you guys. But we will get on with this episode pretty swiftly. I decided not to show you up all the load up screens and that sort of thing. Just thought I'd crack on straight away. Basically what I've done is I've given myself the extra 60% bonus money just because I felt 4 million was a little bit stingy, to be honest, for Leeds. I think they've got a little bit more money than that. So 6.4 isn't too bad. We do have that, but we won't actually be signing any players. I hate to break the bad news, a lot of people won't like that, but I'm hoping a lot of people will like that, because I'm going to not sign any players in the summer transfer window, then I'll try and sign some players in January, just so I can build up all your guys' suggestions, because I've been trying to keep this series a little bit of a secret that I've been recording it, so I've decided to not ask your suggestions, to kind of not make it seem too obvious that I was starting a Leeds career mode series a little bit earlier than maybe you expected. So we're going to start the signings in January. We won't be signing anybody in the summer transfer window. We'll just keep the players that Gary Monk has signed in real life. Hopefully keep the realism in the team and in this career mode as well going into January. We will go through some of the emails now and decide on the objectives, or look at the objectives that we've been given by the board. First of all, I've chosen the European International Cup, and they are basically, I think, probably wanting us to win, to be honest, or do quite well in it. And we've got the scout introducing himself, and we've got the scout report available. Our visions and expectations. We'll quickly go through all the board objectives in a second, but before we do, if we could go ahead and hit 50 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Trying to hit 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so if you could go ahead and support the channel, I would really appreciate that. So let's go through the objectives now. First of all, we've got youth development, obviously a critical objective. Leeds are well known for developing a lot of good young talent. First of all, they want me to sign 3 players with potential over 75 to my youth squad, increase their overall by at least 10 points. Another short-term objective is to grow 2 youth academy players by at least 10 overall points, played in 5 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or coming in as a sub. So that should be an interesting one. We're looking forward to developing some young English players, hopefully, or young talent in general. Brand exposure, that's a medium objective. Sign 1 crucial first-team player, assigned to a midfielder or signed to a midfielder position. Okay, so I guess they want me to sign a midfielder, basically. Financial objective, keep player salary growth under 15%. We're going to try and do that. Also, within 3 seasons, increase the club worth by 100%. Wow, that's a big one. But we've got 3 seasons to do that, so that should be more than enough time to try and do that. And in short-term domestic success, basically want me to fight for promotion in the Championship. That's obviously something we're going to be trying to do. And in the FA Cup, reach around a 32. Continental success, well, obviously, that doesn't really mean anything to us at the moment, but hopefully it will eventually in a few seasons' time. Hopefully by the end of this season, we should get ourselves into Europe and into the Premier League and that sort of thing. That is the aim. So the team that I've currently got, this is my starting lineup. This is the lineup I'm going with. If you have any suggestions as to what you think I should do to it, let me know in the comments below. But I think this is pretty much my starting 11, and pretty much Leeds is starting 11, I think, in real life as well. So Berardi will start right back rather than Ayling. I think that is pretty much all the different changes that you can really argue with, to be honest. So we've got quite a good squad. Like I say, won't be signing any players. I think this will just be my bench in general, to be honest, throughout the career mode, at least until January. So we will pretty much just crack on and move on into some of the pre-season matches now, and get those played and simmed, and see how we get on, whether we can get some more money into the club for January. So we're going to sim the first game of the pre-season tournament. It is against, obviously, the Spanish side. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because it'll probably go terribly wrong for me. But we will get on with sim the match and hopefully get ourselves the 3 points. Would have scored just 12 minutes in. That's really good news for us, getting the early goal there. Into the 30-minute mark now. Saka actually scores on the 30-minute mark, making it 2-0. I think we'll pretty much sim around the 60th minute and see how we get on from there. Alex Mott's come on for us. Dallas coming off. Phillips also coming on as well. Let's skip. We've won the game 3-0. Berardi getting the 3rd goal and us getting the 3 points. Good start to the pre-season tournament. Okay, now I thought I'd set up some scouting networks, the first of which is obviously we're going to try and find some English players to begin with. I've spent quite a bit of money on this, so we've got about, I think, 3.3 million left now. So the first scout here was quite an expensive one, he was just over 2 million, I think, as well. So we're going to actually scout for some technically gifted English players for 9 months. Also going to take a look at some Scottish players. We're going for any type of Scottish player there for 9 months. And then we're going with physically strong Swedish players for 9 months. Obviously with Janssen coming in, thought I'd try and add to our Swedish nationality players that we've got in the club and hopefully build on that. So that's the reason why I've gone with those 3 different nationalities. Hopefully we can find some really good young talents in there and get them through the academy and into the starting 11. Now let's move on to the next match. This is the team I've gone with: Silvestri, Ayling, Bartley, Cooper Taylor, Digragara, O'Kane, Roof, Dallas, Murphy and Antonsen starts up front. So a changed side. It is obviously going to be a bit of a slightly different game for us. I don't think it'll be quite as easy as the 3-0 one we just got. Hopefully though we can still get the 3 points. We will eventually end up probably skipping it, to be honest. But we've actually conceded on the 21st minute and we're down 1-0. That's not a great start for us. Approaching half time here, still losing the game 1-0. We need an equaliser fairly quickly. Alex Mott will come on for Digragara and it doesn't look like we're going to find it, does it? 20 minutes left. Let's skip it, I think, now. And we lost the game 1-0. Disappointing result. Could have been worse though, but obviously it was a changed side, so it wasn't going to be an easy match like that last one. Now to some player drills. These are the 5 players I'm going to go with: Peacock, Farrell, Taylor, Janssen, Vieira and Sacco. You'll have to keep on reminding me in the comments below to change these, because I do forget sometimes. I get a little bit carried away with the youngsters that we have, but we've obviously got a lot of other players that I can try and train, Alex Mort being one of them, and obviously there are others as well, like Grimes I could bring in if I really wanted to. Peacock, Farrell there going up on a few attributes, approaching 62 overall. In terms of the other players, though, not too much growth elsewhere. That obviously is as expected, with it just being the first week, but hopefully we can get ourselves some players going up quite quickly over the next few weeks. Got this next game now against Tenerife. We'll change around the team and see what side we can put out. Okay, so on to the next match now against Tenerife. This is obviously the 3rd and final game of the group stage. Hopefully we qualify with a win here. They've actually had us sending off straight away, but we've had Chris Wood that gets injured after 5 minutes. Calvin Phillips scoring though 12 minutes in. The Wood injury is the more concerning thing. Roof has come on to replace him. Approaching half-time here, still winning the game 1-0. There's been quite a few changes to this team. Turnbull in goal, obviously they're Denton, Coyle in the side as well. 30 minutes left. Alex Moulton gets sent off. A crazy match. Can we win the game? Yes, we have. 2-0. Bridcut getting the second. I'm more worried, though, about the Chris Wood injury. Does that mean we have to look into the transfer window to try and sign maybe another striker? It depends how bad this injury is. Okay, first of all, we've got an extra million, so if we do need to sign anybody, we've got a little bit more cash. How long is Wood going to be out for? It's 3 months. Oh, that is a hard-hitting one, is that? And a player suspended. Alex Moat out for 2 matches. Okay, player injured 3 months. Okay, so he's going to be back October. That's not great. Maybe we do need to have a look at another striker. It's not ideal, that sort of situation. Lee Griffiths, if I can pronounce his name properly. He would be quite a nice signing for us, but I don't know whether we'll be able to afford him. Yeah, we do need another striker, really, don't we, if Wood's going to be out. One player that Leeds were linked with throughout the summer was Ashley Fletcher. Now, I think this was supposed to be a permanent deal going to Leeds, but obviously he's loan listed here at West Ham, so I don't know what you guys would think about me signing him on loan. It'd obviously be a short-term loan and just until Chris Wood comes back, basically. I think that'd be a good suggestion. I hope, anyway. He's 20 years old, 6'1". He's obviously a target forward, as it says there, so similar sort of player to Chris Wood. Obviously not quite as tall, but 69 overall, I believe. So maybe that would be a good signing. I don't know what you guys think about that, because obviously I'm working without suggestions from the comments and without feedback, because I'm trying to pre-record these episodes so I can get out a bunch of them when the time comes. So what I'm going to do is I think put in a short loan offer for him. We won't go a full season because I again want to try and keep this team fairly realistic and fairly Leeds-based for now. So I think we'll go for a short-term loan, try and get him in for whilst Chris Wood is out injured, and hopefully then we should be okay and not have to sign anybody else. Okay, back onto some of the player drills. We will go ahead and simulate all of these ones. Hopefully have another successful week with the player drills for at least anyway. Bailey, Peacock, Farrell, who has gone up to 62 overall. The other players, though, remain pretty much the same, to be honest. Not too much growth for them. But it's good to see Bailey, Peacock, Farrell going up. That is fantastic for us. I hope to eventually get him in the team. There's obviously 3 more keepers in front of him, which isn't going to help him out. But maybe we get rid of Ross Turnbull at some point. I have to have a look at players that we get rid of now, actually. I think we'll take a look at them. Don't want to get rid of too many because, again, trying to keep the same sort of Leeds players around. So I don't want to get rid of loads, but maybe Turnbull is the one I should get rid of. Because I think people want Silvestri to stay. I'm going to keep Rob Green, because even though I don't think there's many people that are much of a fan of him, I think he's obviously the starting 11 keeper, so we're going to have to keep him in for now. He'll probably retire at some point anyway, so he won't be at the club for much longer, I wouldn't have thought. But I think Ross Turnbull will be the player that we actually transfer list to begin with. Hopefully you guys are okay with that, and we'll take a look now through the rest of the team. Okay, so there's not really much to show you here, to be honest, because I don't really want to sell anybody else, because we don't have a very big squad. So basically all I'm going to do is loan list McKay and Whitehouse. I've not even heard of Whitehouse, actually. Let me know in the comments below if you do know anything about him. He's the only player in the squad that I've never heard of, Billy Whitehouse. I don't know whether he's particularly good or not. 20 years old, 50 overall. I presume he's not fantastic. But like I said, if you know anything about him, let me know in the comments below. I will be loaning him out, hopefully, though, by the end of the transfer window. We'll move on to the semi-final match now, and then we'll see how we get on from there. Hopefully, we can find ourselves in the final after this game. But let's change around the team first. I've also just realised that maybe we need to sign another centre-back as well. I know I'm starting to almost try and build or bring in new players, even though I said I wasn't going to. But I think that's something Gary Monk would have liked to have done, obviously with Bamba leaving, because playing McKay really isn't ideal for us. Unless we obviously wait until we get a scout report back and try and promote one of the youngsters from that. But ideally I'd want a fourth centre-back, so we've got another option. Because obviously we've got Bartley, we've got Cooper, and we've obviously got Janssen as well. So we'll wait and see on that one. I don't really know whether I should sign another centre-back. Again, I think it'll probably be a lone centre-back if I do sign one. But we'll just have to try and find someone in the market if we can. Ideally, not going to be Belushi, obviously. But let's see how we get on here. But there's about 5 minutes left. We're drawing 1-1 at the moment. It was Roof who got the first one. And sadly, we lost on penalties 5-4. That was a little bit unexpected. Shame about that one. We are out of the competition, but we had a decent run anyway. We got to the semi-finals. It was always going to be tough to get through with a slightly changed team as ever. We got some money though. We got 1.2 million. That'll help us certainly in our quest to try and find a lone player to come in at centre-back. It does seem like we signed Ashley Fletcher. It's just a short-term loan, so, you know, it's not something that we're taking particularly seriously. It's just because, obviously, Chris Wood has gone through injury. He'll be out for 3 months, and with Ashley Fletcher coming in, we should be pretty much covered now in the striker position. Let's take a look at centre-back, try and get in another short-term loan, because I think we need one, again, just until January before we can sign someone permanently that's maybe a little bit more realistic. I've just thought about it, and actually what I'm going to do, rather than signing a new centre-back, which is something I didn't want to really do, I forgot that actually Eiling can play centre-back, thinking about it, so we'll just use him as a centre-back when we need a fourth one in the squad. We've also got Berardi and Coyle who can play at right-back, so that'll get Coyle into the team. That also means I don't actually have to sign another centre-back, which obviously I wasn't planning on doing, so I think that is what we'll do. Rather than having to sign another one, we'll just go with what we've got, basically. But Fletcher coming into the team, he's not actually 69 overall, don't know where I got that from, he's 66 overall, but still that's good enough for what I was after. He'll add to the squad. We are going to probably be starting Antonsen or Roof up front anyway, so Fletcher was just someone that kind of needed to be in there for the bench. Okay, next week for player drills. Again, it looked like we could actually have some decent growth this week. I know I say it quite a few times each week, but I think this week might be it, if not next week. We've got Bailey, Peacock, Farrell again going up on a few attributes. Taylor and Vieira doing quite well, but Janssen and Sacco are still pretty stagnant there. Hopefully they start to go up eventually. If not, we'll have to rotate them out and try and bring in some other players and see what they're like. Okay, one change to this week's drills. We're going to bring in Alex Morton, take out Vieira, go with those drills, see how we get on. Hopefully get Alex Morton going up slightly, and we'll start on the progress for him. Taylor's actually gone up on 3 attributes this week. That's great news. He moved slightly closer to 73, but still only halfway there. We'll try and rotate them as much as possible. Like I say, we're going to wait on the scout reports, and then we'll pretty much end the episode here, I would have thought. Transfer offer in for Billy White. This one is from, wow, never heard of you, Wexford Youths? What league are they in? Wow, no idea who they are. Don't recognise the badge or the team or anything like that. But we're sending out on loan there. Hopefully gain some experience at that club. Seriously, never heard of them whatsoever. But we'll have to wait and see how he gets on there. We're going to hopefully get rid of a couple more players as well. Obviously, Turnbull going out permanently. But we need to try and get rid of that one more loan as well. I think that was McKay, was it? The striker that we're trying to get rid of. So we're going to, again, go with the exact same 5 players. I think Peacock Farrell seems to be doing really well at the moment. He's growing a lot. So Going to try and continue with him in there. Sakho's gone up on his ball control. Again, Janssen a little bit disappointing, not changed too much. Maybe we look to change his drill. Okay, here we go. This is what I was after. Peterborough coming in for Jack McKay, their striker, and we're going to send him out there on a 1-year loan deal. Just try and give him some more experience, try and get him up in overall, because we don't really have the time to grow him, because he's not one of our better youngsters, let's put it that way, to be honest. We've got other players that we could be growing whilst we're trying to grow him, put it that way. So we've got the game against QPR now approaching. It's obviously going to be a tough match, that one. We've got Blackburn as well midweek, so that's never going to be an easy game for us. Hopefully, though, we can get off to a good start. Before we get into the QPR, though, the QPR match, we've obviously conveniently got the monthly scouting updates just before then. We will be playing the QPR game in the next episode. Let's take a look at some of these monthly scouting updates, though, to begin with. The first one is from Sweden, and we've got potential there, which is looking very nice indeed. He does seem to be, is it a forward player? It's difficult to tell what end of the pitch that is, to be honest. But yeah, we've got him in there potential-wise. This guy looks incredible, doesn't he? 83 to 94, definitely sign him up. To be honest, I think we'll sign most of them just to kind of get an idea of what they're like, try and grow them for a few weeks, and see how they do. Some Scottish players here. Again, we'll pretty much just sign most of them up, to be honest. A couple will reject who don't look anywhere near good enough, but the majority of them did look quite good. Now into the English players, the ones that we care about more, and we haven't actually got quite as good a players, which is typical, isn't it, when these are the main players we're after. Potential-wise, though, Will Alexander does look very good. Isaac looks okay as well. And we've got Max Robinson, who we will reject. So, decent selection of players there. Hopefully get some of them growing in the player drills. Obviously, we can't do that in this episode. But Robert Anderson looks incredible. Is he the Swedish guy that I mentioned before? Let's take a look at him. He seems like a Swedish centre-back. Maybe someone to partner Janssen with, because he's left-footed, so he could be a left-sided centre-back. Wow, we could have just found Janssen's partner here, guys. They could be the partners in crime at centre-back, couldn't they? They look incredible. 6'1", I think they could really go quite well together. Looking forward to that. I'm really excited to try and grow him. 58 overall, 16 years old. He could be a real star for us, I think, at the back with Janssen. So yeah, we've got a few decent young players coming in there. Obviously, there's still many weeks to grow them and try and get them to, obviously, a better overall. We're going to try and keep as many youngsters as possible. Obviously, I don't even think I need to say it, but we're not going to try and sell our young players. We want to try and keep them and develop them. But that is pretty much everything for this episode. It's basically just an introductory episode, as ever. I won't be playing a match in this first one, but that will come in the next episode. So thank you all so much for watching. If we could go ahead and hit 50 likes on this video, I would really appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic as well, because I'm trying to hit 5k subs as soon as possible. So if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for the QPR game, and goodbye.